This is my big sister Stacey, and this is Sister's Social Call.
We are two sisters talking about everything that sisters talk about. Welcome to our lives.
Hello, sister. How are you doing?
Well, I'm great. I'm in Victoria. We just arrived here today after being on a couple of days of a little bit of vacation life, and I will share all that in our peaks, pits, and plans. But I am having all the IT problems I can imagine to record this podcast tonight. So let's hope we can get this one off.
The sound may be a little bit questionable on Stacey's end, but bear with us. This is the reality of being fairly new podcasters.
Yeah. And also a good test for when Chrissy goes to Thailand. So
100%. Yes, exactly.
We want to welcome all our listeners back to Sister's Social Call and say a very special hello to all of our new listeners.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. If this is your first podcast, bear with us, you guys. It's not usually this rough.
Not off the bat, no. Alrighty, well, I'm in Victoria, like I said, and I've been here at least 5 times in my adult life, but they've always been work-related, and this is the first time that Sean and I are here together, and it's his first time being in Victoria as an adult. So we're going to talk a little bit about travel tips and tricks that we're using, and Chrissy's going to Thailand right away, so I'll be curious to hear a little bit about what travel tips you're doing or hacks you're having for this very long beach vacation that you have coming up right away. So excited to talk a little bit about travel. But before we get into those tips and tricks, I'm going to share a few facts about Victoria because not everybody has been so lucky to be here as often as I have been. And then Chrissy, I don't know if you have some like weird facts about Thailand, but if you don't, I looked up some today for you.
Well, I have looked up some interesting things about Thailand. It's in my chat GPT search, to be honest, and I can't actually access that while I'm recording the podcast. And I forgot to write them down in my trusty notebook. So you're going to have to take the lead on that one because I'm not messing with a good thing here while we're recording, and I don't want to bugger it up by dipping into my chat GPT while we're trying to do something else.
Fair. Anyways, here's some interesting facts about Victoria. It was established in 1843, a full 43 years before the birth of Vancouver. It is on the southern tip of Vancouver Island in the Olympic Mountains rain shadow, meaning it receives 50% less rain than the city of Vancouver and Washington State. And let me tell you, we have had phenomenal weather on this. Like, it is spring here. It is beautiful. There's live flowers already blooming and the sun has been out. It's been absolutely gorgeous while we've been here. The waters circling Victoria are home to 5 species of whales, Chrissy. And I know how much you love whales. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And the waters surrounding Victoria are home to 3 resident orcapods totaling over 80 mammals.
Very cool.
Yeah. Victoria's Chinatown is not only the oldest in Canada, but also the second oldest in all of North America. San Francisco's first. And it has Canada's narrowest street, Fan Tan Alley, measuring 35 inches across. I was actually down there my last time I visited in May, so that's fun. And then I'm really excited. Sean and I are we are staying at the Hotel Grand Pacific, which is right beside the Ledge building here in Victoria, right across from the harbor. And tonight, Sean will get to witness something that's very unique to parliaments across probably the entire Commonwealth. But the Parliament building here is adorned with more than 3,000 lights illuminating every night. So they don't just have it lit up at Christmas. It's every night they have this very unique feature of their Parliament. And then just a couple other random fun things. And you'll appreciate this one because you're an arts person. Emily Carr was born in Victoria, and her legacy is celebrated at the Royal BC Museum. And I'll maybe touch on that in a few, in our plans. And they have a park here called Beacon Hill, and it's a serene oasis in the heart of Victoria, complete with peacocks and a petting zoo. but it also home to the second largest totem pole in the world, standing at a height of 127 feet. So I'm excited to see a couple of these sites. Even though I've been here lots of times, it's always been for work. So I'm excited to be like a little bit more of a tourist and get out of maybe the harbor area a little bit, or not. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's happening in Victoria. Tell me what you've been getting up to for your planning for Thailand.
Well, I'm not a super crazy planner like you. You like to have everything pretty queued up, and that's not really how I like to roll. I like to just kind of see where the wind blows me, but I have planned a few things on this trip because there are a few things that I really want to do. And I don't want to miss out on them. And I think that if I didn't plan, then I would perhaps risk the chance of not being able to do a few of these things. So one thing that I have done, well, that I've planned to do is a night stay at a ethical elephant sanctuary. So friends of mine have suggested this specific one. And it's one that if you don't book it well in advance, you won't get to go to this one. And the lady is Thai and she's had it. I think hers is the longest standing ethical elephant sanctuary in that part of Thailand, perhaps in Thailand all around. Anyways, I booked a night and 2 days there. So I have that planned up, and then I haven't booked it yet, but I do plan to do a Thai cooking class. I booked all of my accommodations for the whole entire time that I'm gone, because while I used to be a lot more adventurous when I was in my 20s and I would just find, wherever to stay or a hostel, and I only have 2 weeks for this trip. I don't want to spend an entire day trying to find a place to stay wherever I go somewhere. I just want to have a place to stay, get there, set up shop, go and adventure and check things out. So those are some of the things that I've done this trip that I haven't really ever typically done when I've traveled, but I haven't traveled like this since I was in my 20s. When I've traveled with my ex-husband, we'd kind of go to the same spot and we would rent like an Airbnb and then just do day trips and trips from there. So this is going to be a little bit different, but I've booked 2 nights in Bangkok, and then I am going to fly to Chiang Mai, and that's where I'm going to spend 2 nights in Chiang Mai, then a night at the Elephant Sanctuary, come back and then spend one more night in Chiang Mai, and then I'm going to fly down to the southern part of Thailand and spend 5 nights in Krabi on an island called Koh Lanta, where I've rented, they call them little beach bungalows, but it's like pretty rustic, but it's like a little bungalow that I've rented for 5 nights. And from there, I will do some day trips. I will likely I just discovered today that there is a cooking school right by where I'm staying. I think I'll do I was thinking of doing the cooking class up in the northern part, but I actually think I will do it in the southern part because I will have 5 days just chilling out, hanging out in the area. They have this 4-island tour where you can go and check out like the Fifi Islands and the really famous islands. And not that that is very inspiring to me, but I'm hopeful that I'll find some local that has some better trip to go on that's to like islands that aren't as popular, that whatever. Everywhere has those places, right, where it's like the locals know of somewhere just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, as like not as many people. So I'm hopeful to do something like that one day while I'm there, just because I wouldn't mind getting out and doing some snorkeling and all that kind of stuff. However, I don't want to really like plan anything too greatly because I really more so like for the week that I'm down at the beach, I more so just really want to relax and like have a vacation. Like I'm maxed out to like the maximum right now. So I'm like, I need the vacation more than anything, or like the relaxing. So I'm not going to plan a whole big bunch of stuff. And then the last 2 days I'm back in Bangkok. I mean, there's things I want to do in Bangkok. My first 2 nights there, I planted myself. My hotel is right by the flower market, which I mentioned in the last episode. The flower market's open 24 hours. That's something I really want to do. But then on my way back, I have actually booked a ceremonial hand poke tattoo with a master in Bangkok.
So you're getting a tattoo while you're in Thailand?
Yeah, like a traditional hand poke tattoo.
Where?
Okay, well, here's the thing. It's like a whole ceremony. So when you go, you have like you go into this place and there's a I've like paid to have a translator, and it's a whole kind of ceremony. You tell them kind of what's going on in your life and what you
Right.
whatever. And then they pick the tattoo and they pick
Oh,
where they put it on your body. And there's like prayer involved and like all this that goes along with it.
wow, sissy. I am shocked to hear that, but that's fun and unique, and I'm excited to hear what they're inspired to tattoo on your body.
Me too. It's called a Sakyant tattoo. And it is a whole ceremonial process, and it's a master that does the tattooing. And yeah, so at first I was like, oh, I really want to do that. And so I booked it because you won't get in if you don't pre-book it. And
Hmm.
there you won't get a translator if you don't book it well in advance. And I want to know I want to know what they're talking about. I want to know everything. But then I got thinking, I was like, well, you know, do I really want to do that? Like this is like a traditional like Thai tattoo, like, you know. And so I may cancel it. I think that it's at the end of my trip, but I had to put a deposit down. But I was like, I'm gonna book it because I feel like that will be such a great way to end this trip is gonna be very like it's gonna be a life changing trip for me, I think. Because it's gonna cross off a few like really important things in my life. One, I've always wanted to travel on my own. Two, I've wanted to go to Thailand since I was in university. Three, I think it's just going to help give me some clarity in my life. I need to just get the hell out of here so I can get that for some things that are going on. And so I was like, you know what? I think that would be like a really amazing way to end this trip. And it may be a very kind of like kind of spiritual way to commemorate the trip and also to remind me of what's lies ahead.
Yes, it sounds beautiful. I hope you don't cancel it, sis. I hope you go
Yeah,
through with.
it was one of those things where I just had like a moment of like maybe that's I don't know what I was thinking. Like I don't really know why I had this like moment of like questioning it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to cancel it because I want to be able to have that at the end of the trip if I'm feeling compelled to do that.
I have one question about planning for your trip, and then
Oh
I'm going
yeah.
to share some interesting facts.
Okay.
So, the one question I have is actually how you've been getting vaccines for this trip. How far in advance did you have to start booking those vaccines at the travel clinic?
Okay. Well, you don't. Nobody has to do this when you travel, but it is the responsible thing to do. um, to go to your travel clinic and ask them if there's anything to get for your travels. So they ask you to not get them any sooner than 6 weeks out because there can be different things going on, like a influenza outbreak or COVID outbreak. Like those can change fairly rapidly. So they ask you to not book it or to not get your vaccinations any earlier than 6 weeks out from your travel date. So I booked it a long time ago, but I didn't go get the vaccines until the 29th of December. And at that point in time, I only got 4. Any travel clinic will recommend certain vaccinations for you, and some of them are free, some of them are not, and some of them they'll tell you, like, they'll say to you, Japanese encephalitis, they haven't had a case of that in so many years. Well, like, okay, I'm not going to get the $800 Japanese encephalitis shot. But I did get the influenza because there at that point in time there was an influenza outbreak there. I didn't get the COVID-19 because they don't have an outbreak of that there, and I'm like for my personal reasons, I'm not going to do that. And then I also got I think yellow fever was one of them, and a second Twinrix shot. Then when I get back, I'll get another Twinrix shot, especially since I'm going to get a tattoo down there. That'll be very important.
Yes.
And then when I was there, they realized that my measles vaccination wasn't up to date. No, it was my mumps. they realized that my mumps vaccination wasn't up to date, so they wanted to give me that before I go as well. I'm on a medication for an overactive thyroid, so they needed to contact my thyroid specialist to see if the medication I'm on is an immunosuppressant because it's an active vaccination for the mumps. Anyways, all said and done, I just went and got the mumps done 2 weeks ago. Well, like, it's still the measles, mumps, and rubella shot. It's all three together. But I got that done just a couple weeks ago just to be up to date with that and to be done with it, more so than because I'm traveling. So yeah, 6 weeks out is kind of their sweet spot for getting vaccinated if you choose to do that. And I know there's lots of people who don't do that, but I don't want to spend my 2 weeks sick if I have anything to do with it. So I just wanted to take my precautions. And I also don't want to come back with some like weird funky virus and then get everybody in my town sick with something. You know, I like kind of want to be responsible, like, in the job that I do. There's no social distancing in the job that I do, so I'm right up in people's faces, and I just think that's the right thing for me to do. If anybody is traveling to Southeast Asia or actually anywhere overseas, it is a good idea to talk to your travel health clinic and just ask them, because not only do they tell you about what vaccinations you should get, but they'll also tell you kind of what's going on in the country at that time. So, and what kind of like, in as far as like illnesses or just even some political stuff. When I was there, she's like, oh, there's little unrest at the Cambodia border right now. And so it's just kind of good to go and have a chat with them, whether or not you get any vaccinations. It's just good. Like, even, yeah, she said like you can get traveler's diarrhea, which I usually do. And so she's like, just when you're there, go get Ducarol. You can get it anywhere. Like, so they give you tips and tricks of like what to do if you do get sick. So I would recommend for anybody that's traveling somewhere that they're not familiar with to do that.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
So here are some fun facts about Thailand that I was looking up today because I thought, like, I was just curious to learn a little bit more about where you're going to be. So
Yes.
around 6 million people visit Thailand per year. So you are one of 6 million. That's a lot of people.
Yes. That's a lot. Well, and the population of Thailand, I did look it up too today, and I was like, Thailand's not a super big country. I can't remember the exact number. It's in my chat GPT notes, but the population of Thailand is pretty high.
I'll have to double check this fact, but I remember reading today that I believe Bangkok's like the hottest city in Asia, which with all those people, no kidding.
You know what's crazy about that? I am not a city person whatsoever, and I am super excited to go to Bangkok. Like, it's so random, but I'm pumped. Like, I'm pumped to get on their freaking train when I get there. Like, I don't know. I think it's just going to be so chaotic that I'm probably going to be like, wow, this is insane. But I am pumped to go to Bangkok, and I'm not like, it's so not typical of me.
I know you're a people watcher though, so I think it will be just the finest people watching of you can ever imagine.
Oh, it's going to be fine. Let me tell you.
A few more fun facts about Thailand. It's illegal to step on the Thai currency. So don't step on the money, sissy.
I will not
And
be doing that.
you shouldn't touch people's heads in Thailand.
Yes, I knew that.
Okay, yeah, like no greeting and then touching people's heads. And this one I thought it's just really funny, and I think this applies to many countries in the world, but actually I don't know about the legality of it, but it is illegal to go out in public without any underwear on. So make sure you put some undies on, sissy, when you go out.
Put the Gitchies on. Okay.
Yeah. Did you know those?
Well, and I didn't know that. Another thing is like, Thailand is predominantly Buddhist. I can't remember the specific type of Buddhism, but that's predominantly their religion there, which Buddhism has always been a very fascinating religion to me. I think there's a lot of really intriguing values, principles in Buddhism that really speak to me. So I'm very curious about that as well and experiencing some of their temples. One thing I learned about that, because of course I'm like, well, I don't want to be that tourist that's breaking all the rules, but you can't have your shoulders showing and or your knees showing. So you have to be covered when you are going into the temples and whatnot. So that is an important thing to know as well. So I had to make sure that I took appropriate attire for when I'm touring those. I plan to do a couple when I'm in Bangkok for sure.
I noticed on the socials you were packing, doing a test run this
Yeah.
weekend. So what did you pack for those to be mindful of those couple of rules?
Well, I packed very light, Stacey. Everything is packed into one carry-on, a 40-liter backpack. And I don't want to be worried about a bunch of stuff. Like, I just kind of want to go be free-flowing, and I don't want to have to be... So I have a fanny pack. It's a pack-safe fanny pack. So it has like this cord inside of it that if somebody were to try to slice your fanny pack, they can't get through it. So I bought this years ago when I traveled, and I might have gotten it from Mountain Equipment Co-op or something, but I've had it forever. And so I have my fanny pack, and then I have my backpack. And anyways, for my for my clothes for the temples, I have packed a dress I packed a scarf to go over
Oh,
my a scarf to go over my shoulders, and it's a dress that goes like, it's a maxi dress, so it's long, floral, and I just have that. And then I have also another dress that is more kind of for the beach, but it's just a dress that goes below my knee as well. It's like a peach color, I guess you could say, like coral. And then same thing, I just have this like the scarf or the shawl thing that I'm bringing. It's really lightweight, and it kind of almost looks like this. It doesn't feel like a burlap sack, but it's kind of that brown color, so it kind of goes with anything. It's lightweight. So I just thought, and it's big enough. I tried it on that it goes over my shoulders like very good. And then, yeah, and then both the dresses cover past my knees. So even if I am out just doing something different and then I stumble across a temple, I can just have those things and just slap them on if I want to go in, you know?
yep.
But yeah, that's
Excellent.
what I packed. I didn't bring I am taking a pair of like flowy pants, and I will travel with a light pair of jeans, but so I will have a few options of things to wear, but yeah.
Well, in episode 8, way back when we were the babiest of podcasters, which tonight I kind of feel like it again. But we did a travel tips and tricks episode, and one of your tips and tricks was the packing cubes. And that's not like any like great revelation, but did you have to use those to get everything to fit into your suitcase if you're taking only a backpack for your trip?
Yeah, I'm using 3 travel cubes, 2 bigger ones and 1 smaller one.
Do you separate your clothes by outfits, or do you separate them by like these are all my pants and bottoms or these are my tops?
Yeah, pretty much like that. So I have one that has my tops in it as well as some socks, and that's in a smaller one. And then the bigger one has my pants, shorts, and dresses, my workout gear clothes. And then the last one has my bathing suits, my undies that I can't go without. And then,
Yeah,
actually 4
illegal.
packing cubes. Yeah, it's illegal. And I have another small packing cube that has my toiletries in it, but I'm also not taking very much of that stuff either because I'll just buy it when I'm there. But I'm taking like toothpaste, toothbrush. I do have like a travel size shampoo and conditioner, a little thing of sunscreen, and a tiny little thing of deodorant. Those are the only things that I'm bringing as far as like toiletry goes. I don't even think I'm going to take any makeup with me. Like, I might take a
Probably
small little palette, just throw a couple things in there, but I'll hardly probably use it. Anyways, I just don't want to have a lot of stuff. So I just figure if there's something that I'm missing, I'll just buy it when I'm there. And honestly, I've overpacked on so many trips and been like, what a waste of bringing so much stuff when you don't need to, you know? It's just, you end up wearing the clothes that feel comfy. And I'm not at a 5-star all-inclusive vacation spot. I'm not going to be going fine dining. Like, I plan to eat a lot of street food. I plan to like market it up. That's like all I dream of. Head spas, markets. Like I plan to do first order of business when I get to Bangkok, check into my hotel and go find me a freaking head spa and
Well,
some
I was
street
wondering
meat.
why you're taking shampoo and conditioner based on that, to be honest with you.
Well, because if I go in the water, you're not always going to be like running to a head spa right away. And sometimes that salt water can really wreak havoc on the hair. So I just have a tiny little travel one. And
We did talk about how salt water is tough on your hair in one of our previous episodes, and I'll link it in our show notes too.
yeah, honestly, and that's the only reason that I am bringing it. Otherwise I wouldn't, but I am like a little bit particular when it comes to shampoo and conditioner, as you would guess. So I figure I would just bring a little travel size so that if I am in the water and my hair feels icky, then I know that I have something good that I can just put it on right away if I'm not going to be going for a relaxing scalp massage anytime soon. But oh yeah, in the Koh Lanta is where I'm going to go for the beach part of the vacation. And oh, today I was just like the yoga studio's right by there. There's a cafe right by there. The cooking school's right like in walking distance. And I didn't really like look into proximity to any of these things when I first booked it. My criteria was that I wanted to find a bungalow on the beach, like or like close to the beach. Like I just wanted something that was I didn't want to have to like cross a highway or something to get to the beach. I just wanted to be close by. And that was my main criteria. But now that I'm like, okay, these are things that I want to like look into, it's like, wow, I freaking nailed it on my spot, which I'm pumped about. It's like all these things are really close by. So I think it's going to just be so good. The last 2 days when I've been out for my walk, I just have had this like warm, like cozy kind of like peaceful feeling inside of me about it. So I'm ready.
Do you have any other travel tips and tricks that you are employing for this trip?
Well, I have ordered um some Thai money. And so I know people say convert it there, you'll get a better exchange. But I looked up what the exchange rate was in Thailand and what it was from the bank here. It's no different.
Mm.
So like not enough that it would make a huge pile of difference. Maybe if you're taking out like $10,000, well maybe, but so I'm traveling there with like some Thai cash because I don't want to get there and then be running to have to find Thai money. I'm also purchasing what they call an eSIM card. So you buy it beforehand. It's an app on your phone and essentially you buy it before you go and then you're hooked up to your data and everything. It's going to cost me $50 for the 2 weeks that I'm there or
Mm.
65, sorry. And it's just like an eSIM card so you can go onto that and use your um it says like turn your data roaming on and your phone number still works, but you're on this eSIM. So I don't know if like regular text messaging works, but you can use WhatsApp, Messenger, all that stuff. So you can stay so connected. So I've got that lined up for when I go there. So that's a hot tip, which one of my clients told me about. She told me the app to get. They spent 3 months down there the other year. So they used that, had no problems. They don't have Uber there, but they have Grab. And there's one other company. They're basically like Ubers. So I have the apps for those if I need to drive somewhere. But
Hmm.
otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. Like I haven't done this in so long. I'm gonna learn a lot of new things in the next little while, but it'll be really good. I'm
Hmm.
really gonna expand myself in ways that maybe I didn't even know, which will be great.
Yes. We didn't really have to do any extra special tips and tricks for packing because we were on a road trip out here for this one. But I definitely ordered myself a good food box to arrive
Oh
at
yeah,
home
that's
when we're there. That's my number one travel tip and trick is to order yourself a subscription box before you go so you do not have to think about what you are going to eat while you're away and they panic about getting groceries when you get back home. This is like a brain saver for vacation, I think.
totally. That's a great hot tip
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome, sis. Yeah, I don't think I have much else other than, what I've shared, but I do plan to record a podcast while I'm in Thailand. So that'll be really exciting to hop on. And I'm glad that we've had this kind of travel podcast tonight where you're not at home and trying to navigate this, because it'll give me some ideas of what I need to be cautious of. Like, I'm going to have some decent Wi-Fi and anyways, but it'll all work out. Yeah. Anyways, what do you think? Should we roll into our peaks, pits, and plans?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you want to get started? Because I just talked a lot about Thailand.
Yeah. Okay, so pits. I don't have any. I've been on vacation. Life's good. Peaks. Well, I'm on vacation, so life's good. But the peakest was, it's seeing my friends, my favorite people. I got to see Kimmy, my best friend. I got to see Zena. Like, that brings my heart lots of love and joy. But like yesterday, Sean and I were in Nanaimo and we went for a walk and we saw an otter. It was being a little mischievous little thing. It was awesome. It was very exciting. That was very peak yesterday, was seeing an otter out in the wild. He was in the like marina area and he was just, you could tell he was just being mischievous, and I love that so much. That was
Cute.
peak. And Sean, that like otters are his most favorite, I think, mammals. Like, he just loves them. And there was an otter mural, and he'd had a couple beers and we were walking, and then he paused, and I was kind of like a half a step or two ahead of him. And then I realized he wasn't with me. And so I look, I'm like, would you like a picture with the otter mural? And he just like, yes, he did. So I have a picture of Sean with the otter mural. It's just so cute. I love it. Vacation Stacey can really nail the kilometers for the motion is lotion challenge. So we've been walking a lot, and we were in the trees in a provincial park yesterday, and just the giant cedars, they smell so good. It was just fabulous. And so plans, and I didn't want to share these off the hop about when I was saying that I'm in Victoria, but we just got here within the last couple hours. And so tonight we're going to go out for dinner. Not sure where yet. Tomorrow I am actually going to work. So I work fully remote from my house, but my team is mostly located in Victoria, and they also mostly work from home. It's like they have options if they want to work from home or go into the office. I'm kind of excited to just go in for a day, check all my emails, clean them up, finish a couple tasks I didn't get done last week before I left. And, on Wednesday when I go back to work, it's kind of nice to be just kind of caught up. So that'll be, and to see all my coworkers. I'm really looking forward to that. And Friday, Sean and I are going to the spa, and I kind of mentioned this on an earlier episode. We are going to, it's a spa barge in the harbor of Victoria called Haven or Haven. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it, but I'm very excited to go to that. And after I go there, I will make my list of hydrotherapy spas. Because
You should.
I am going to. I need to get to that one and put it in the ranking in the top 10 or whatever that I have. And then I don't know what else we're going to do on Friday. They do have a free event at nighttime in town this weekend, where it's like lots of art installations that are lit up at nighttime. So I'm sure Sean and I will stumble across some of those. Weather dependent, we might go to the museum, or we might go to like Beacon Hill that I talked about earlier. So we're just kind of playing it by ear. I'm not as plansy as you say I am, Sissy. I like to have a couple of things in the hopper, but like I don't want to overplan us.
I definitely do embellish on the how much you overplan, because I think you love to plan, but I also think that your intensive planning has dialed down a notch or two, but I still like to bug you that you're a crazy planner.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, it's you, when Sean and I travel together, he needs a little bit more downtime than I do. So it's kind of like one day of planned activities, one day kind of chill or spontaneous activities. Like, that's kind of how I plan it now. We have a lot more balance in our travels, whereas before it would be like go, go, go every day.
Yeah. And I'm like Sean. I like more downtime, just roll with the flow kind of thing. Like, I've actually had this realization, the Monday I had all those plans going on. I was just felt so overwhelmed. Like, in the morning, I just felt like racy and anxious. Like, oh my God, I have all these deadlines. And in that moment, I just realized that does not make me feel good. Like when I'm overplanned, I just can't, like it's definitely makes me feel a bit overwhelmed for sure. And so but I know that now. It's like, Krista, you know what gets you going. Don't overplan shit. And so I now know this and I'm very aware. So I can just, because then when I get overwhelmed, I get irritable, moody. It's not good for me or anybody around.
All right, Sissy, why don't you tell us about your peak splits and plans? Because I have no idea what's going on in your world, especially because I'm going to be still on vacation. What's going on?
Well,
We've hardly
where do
talked.
we
We haven't even talked in like 6 days or something like that, 5 or 6 days.
I know I've been just calling mom because I didn't want to bug you while you're on your trip, and mom's not feeling very good. Anyways, pits. I'm gonna say I don't have any pits this week. We're just, yeah, pretty a-okay on the pit department. As far as my peaks go, well, my friend Kelly came out on Friday for Singo, so that was really great. And actually, my aunt and uncle came out last night my uncle came and got his haircut, and auntie came with him. And then they took me out for supper afterwards. So that was
Oh,
really
nice.
awesome. Yeah, it was nice. I just love spending time with them. So that was really special. And then, oh, okay, this is really cool. I posted a Valentine's Day YouTube video on my blooms and brushstrokes yesterday. And it's a heart with a flower on it. And it has got me 40 new subscribers in a day, and it's at like maybe 800 views already, which is, for me, that's like fast. That's it's good because it doesn't
That's
usually happen
awesome,
like that. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's pretty cool. And then today I was on my Instagram, like my personal page, and oh, this gives me goosebumps. Somebody had tagged me. In fact, it did when I saw this. I had tears in my eyes because this is like, if I could inspire anybody to do anything in their life and be creative, like to me, I feel that my job here on earth is done. And so this lady, she had tagged me and she had already tried that painting from my tutorial and she posted it on
Oh,
her Instagram page. It's got me teared up right now. Like, how cool is that?
that's amazing, Sissy. I love that so much for you.
Ah, it's so awesome. And I always tell people in my videos, like, if you ever want to share up something with me, here's my email address or whatever. And I've never really gotten anything. And then today I was tagged on somebody's Instagram and it was of the painting that they did. And I was like, and it's the one I just posted a day ago. Like, she was on it and I just like, and that is, it's, to me, is like, that is freaking awesome to like inspire somebody to be creative. And anyways, so that's super peak for me. Holy, YouTube's such an interesting beast. You never know what's going to blow up on you, but I've had a few videos that kind of go a little bit crazy. So this one is so interesting, but yeah, so great. And my plans, well, I don't have a lot of plans because I'm just trying to like really get roped in here to get away. So I leave by the time this comes out, I'll be leaving in like 5 days. But anyways, so for me, I'm just going to be cleaning my house, getting organized. I've been invited to a Galentine's Day brunch on
Mm.
Sunday with Kelly and her friend Rena. There's going to be 7 of us girls. And so we have to bring a brunch item, and as well as, if we want to participate in this, something handmade for everybody. So I think I'm going to make everybody a lip balm, or else you can help me decide this right now. Or else I was thinking of giving them each a jar of salsa and then bring a bag of tortilla chips with it and a homemade salsa that I made.
Ooh. Hmm.
But I could do like homemade lip balm and maybe a little bit of like Epsom salt, like a teeny little jar of Epsom salts with like a little bit of lavender in it or something like that.
Yeah. I think you're more talented in your canned goods. Not saying that the lip balm is not great, but I think the canned goods are a real special treat.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking too. I have definitely gotten better at my lip too. Okay, well then I think that seals the deal. Then I don't have to make anything. I'm just gonna grab 6 jars of my salsa and go get some
That's
Doritos
right.
or nachos and toss them in there with it. Like Kelly was like suggested, oh maybe like a small loaf of sourdough, but I just don't have the time to really truly do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the salsa and then go grab everybody a little bag of chips. Who doesn't love a little snacky snack? A salty one. Other than that, you guys. Other than that, that is it for my week. I'm gonna hide out at home. I'm not gonna do single. I'm not gonna do any brunching. I am straight up going to be hanging at home with my cat and getting my life organized to go on vacation. And maybe I'll go see mom. As I said, she's had the flu all week, so I should try to go in there, maybe take her some flowers or something, see if she'll make her feel better.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, that is going to do it for us this week. So, as always, if you like this podcast, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and loved ones. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, please go ahead and do that. That helps us to get exposed to more viewers or more listeners on all of those platforms. So, share away and follow and subscribe. And if you guys want to find Stacey, she is on LinkedIn and Facebook. You can find myself, Krista, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you want to find Sister Social Call, you can find us on Instagram.
All right, Sissy, love you so much. Thanks, everybody.